Missing Booster Club Funds. EDL 854 is ain't working. The summary of this case study is just about a school, that George Washington Middle School, that is losing enrollment and losing young families that are moving out, and the socio-economical balance is dropping. They're a little bit lower in finances than they have been. But with that, they have a very strong community of parents that volunteer, and a bunch of probably good, hard-working people in their community that just keeps the school going well. There's a principal, Mr. Stevens, who's been there for about 4 years and has a great relationship. And one of the parents came to him and asked for some money for their daughter, who was an all-state cheerleader, but he said that they couldn't do that as a part of the booster club. It would have to be something outside of that. She didn't really like it, but that was what he said. And then at a basketball game, that lady, Mrs. Bowman, was running the concession or the ticket booth, and turns out that 10 tickets were ripped up and $50 could be missing. She said they were just ripped up, and there's a $50 bill that was there. So it's kind of a case of missing funds and what really happened. All right. Okay, what is the problem, basically? What do I know? I know that the parent volunteers are essential to run sporting events because the principal is the sole administrator for the school. He does not have any help. The parent that's handling the proceeds was the one that made the school request for school funds and was denied. There were 10 tickets that were ripped that she talked about, and the funny thing is there was a $50 bill paid by one of the parents, but that was not in the money that he collected. What do we need to know? I need to know, because there's supposedly 2 parents. Who was the second parent involved? And what happened to the tickets? How did they get ripped? And why did they write a note and not personally tell Mr. Stevens what happened? And what is the policy for handling ticket sales and damaged tickets? We're both parent volunteers there to reconcile the funds. And well, what's the problem? Well, the problem is pretty simple. There's ripped tickets, missing tickets, and there was a $50 bill that is unaccounted for that matched the amount of the tickets. So what happened? Was it theft, or were they just ripped tickets? That's what we don't know. Okay. What is the action plan? Well, first thing I would just talk to the ticket takers, both of them. I would find what happened to the missing ripped tickets. Why? What was the deal? They're missing. They say they're ripped. Did they just throw them away? What happened? Find out if both the volunteers were there at the reconciliation, the counting of the money before it was turned in. And after that, depending on what happens, of course, I would review the policy for handling money for all sporting events, especially something like that with ripped tickets, and make sure that they all match. They do have a system that's a good numbered tickets, but let's just dig deeper into that. And then I train or retrain volunteers on the reconciliation of funds after the events are completed to make sure this doesn't happen. So there's a money trail, there's accountability for what we're doing. Did we resolve the issue based promoting success of all students? Okay, what is best for the students? I think the situation had to be handled carefully. We don't want to go out. I would not want to go out and just accuse anybody of anything. There's many things I don't know. I need to get to the bottom of it. Is it theft or just suspicion of theft? I think we want to keep everybody on the same page and not accuse. Just make sure that it's handled correctly. If there is theft, we need to dig deeper into that. But we don't want to cause a drama in a school, especially when your parent group is so important to you. And I think a parent group is important all the time. As like they say, the PTA volunteers are the lifeblood of the school activities. I think you need to work hand in hand to make sure this doesn't happen again. Maybe some more training, like some infographics to show exactly what's going on, how to run things. And also, money is tight, and we need to ensure all the money gets to the students. Whatever we raise needs to be used to support the students in whatever capacity that might be. Category 4. All right, what was I thinking? I was thinking this is definitely not an open and shut case. Not a time to jump to conclusions. It needs to be investigated and handled correctly. And I think the other issue, because everything kind of fell into place, is the same parent that was looking for money, but a lot more than $50. So I think you need to be very careful in this. What was I feeling? with that, I think it needs to be handled correctly, because without parent volunteers, it would be very close to impossible to run sporting events. And with their impact to the school, it makes everybody healthier. The parents are involved, the students are going to be involved more also in everything that we do. What do I value? I value those students and parents. No matter the outcome, every parent and student needs to understand they're important to our school and how they keep it running. What needs to be investigated? Was there actual theft from the gate proceeds? From what I read, then I would know more of what's going on. I think there definitely needs to be more help for Mr. Stevens. He needs to add a stipend for a middle school athletic director. That's what we do here at our school. We have it's not his job, but it's part of what he does. Gets maybe a period of release and then a small stipend to help him go to the games and manage some of the problems. Is the policy for handling the gate proceeds adequate, or does it need to be revised? That's something important. Are all the volunteers trained properly? Is there documentation? Is there examples? Is there ways to teach them so they don't have to do a big training, but it makes it so it's functional and this can't happen again? Standard 8 reflection component 1. All right, how would I do this? I would ensure that all the money raised for the school functions are to support the students involved in those activities, or just to support the student body as a whole. I think we need to promote and continue to create that positive relationship with the PTA. That partnership will go a long way in making a positive environment in the school. For the kids, for the students, for the teachers, for the principals, and for the parents. I think another thing that needs to be done, if you update and train all the volunteers, the handling of the school funds won't be an issue. At least you should be able to handle this again. This should never happen again. Component 2. I believe you need to continue to support the work with parent volunteers and to ensure the school activities will continue. If you do not have that support, you cannot continue. That's vital. And activities and sports are so important for a school. Develop those policies that will eliminate any mishandling of the funds. Promote and highlight the school's events and successes. Whatever's going on, let's promote that. Let's highlight that in the community. Let's highlight it to the classes, to the students. Let them know what's available and what they're doing so well. How do I help the academic learning? I think you partnership with the community, continue that, like the Reading Buddy program they have. And like I said, anytime the parents are involved, the school is healthier. The kids are healthier. They enjoy what they're doing. Find fundraising activities to support the students with the socioeconomical issues that they're dealing with, the drop of enrollment. Find ways to substitute some of that money that has been lost. And with proper procedures and policies, those funds will be allocated in the proper place to help the students. That's going to help their learning just if they have the proper resources available. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.